So watching this game, I think I have come to a conclusion about one of this team's biggest problems that if they don't solve relatively soon will be one of the main reasons this team does not reach its potential. And I don't think it's the one that everybody has looked at or everybody finds popular to point at. I think it's something that, because of all of the frustration and turmoil in different directions the fan base has towards certain parts of this team, has flown under the radar, even though it's been in front of our face this entire time. But what is that? What was my thoughts on this Browns game versus the Steelers? We're going to get into that. But before I do, I want to make sure I give a shout out to patreon.com dog check tier members. And we're going to start with Michael Matique, Cam Vex, Jaleel Salim Jr. and Sr., Caleb Pickering, Benjamin Woods, Michael Terry, Sam28, Wani Boy, Rob Morehouse, Tyler Chiz, Michael Morales, Mark Kahn, Max Haymaker, Nick Merrick, D.A.J., Joe Hart, Gabriel Wilson, Fred Pat III, David Valtiar, Relentless Buck, Rex Kaufman, Kevin Johnson, Cleveland Cart, Matt H., Sign Sheets, Gemini, Leon Freeman, Fight 3074, Chunt, Yo-Yo, Matt Lloyd, Paul Wilcox, Hondo Magnifico, Cal Stoffer, Lukey from Munich, Dave Roth, J-Guy101, Musty Taco, Brad Cowbo, Dylan W., James McGinley, Arendal, Chad Gimme, David Maldonado, Josh Spindor, Austin Rich, Mark M., Stuart Moore, Dylan Hill, Cleveland BCI, Robert Germain, Dave Mike May, Andrew Hirsch, Curtis Bear, Batman, Barack Kumar, John Albert, Beerman069, Masayua, Butts Roland, Mac House, Reeve Hertz, Philip Wilcoxon, Marie Vivert, Sean Barron, Goggles Pisano, Dom Gazzulo, Nick Nasty, Ian Whitaker, Colin 216, Christian, Dave Strong, Michael Stone, Soul Train, Billy, Moose Gentry, Austin Z, Mark Burnett II, Andre Griffin, Otis Wolf, Dog Pound Kai, Greg Ehlers, Austin Bolin, Lydia Mahawk, Alexander Davis, Chris Falms, Picktown Browns backer, Max Nilakenko, Max Al Dojo, and Water Bear Marketing. Thank you so much for the support. It means a ton to me. Now let's jump into the video. Okay. So you hear what I said at the beginning of this video, and I know a lot of you are probably thinking, oh, it's Joe Woods. He's talking about Joe Woods. He's talking about the defense. Nah, this ain't the day to harp on Joe Woods or the defense. Some people will do that because they gave up a 3rd and 20 here and there, and they didn't play great football versus a not so great offense. But at the end of the day, Pittsburgh only scored 15 points. The Browns should be able to put up more than 15 points. They only put up 10 points. Can't really blame that on the defense. Okay, so it's not the defense. So we're talking about the quarterback. Oh, is it time for the controversy? Case Keenum, Baker Mayfield, all that stuff? Nah. Baker played fine. He had drops and everything else. But that's not really under his control. That's really the other guys got to step up. I mean, we're paying a lot of money for some of these receivers. Top money for Austin Hooper. Top money for Jarvis Landry. Top money for Odell Beckham, and we don't use them well. So is it the coaching staff? Here's what I'll say. Go back to the beginning of this season and ask yourself this question. What has been the biggest disappointment on this team? What has been the one area of this team that has not held its own weight? And think about it. What was this team built around? This team was built around having one of the best offenses in the NFL, right? They had one of the best offenses last year. They're returning that offense. That's what this team was built around, having one of the best offenses in all of football. And I can say, after 8 games, definitively, this offense, not even in the top 10 right now. Just not good enough. I don't care what some numbers say. I don't care how they, just from what you can see on the field and how they don't execute in the red zone and in critical situations, it's not a great offense. And that is the biggest problem with the Cleveland Browns, is that the entire offense, for reasons that don't really have much to do about football, but have everything else to do about just shooting yourself in the foot, this offense can't get off its own butt. They can't beat them. They can't beat anybody who's good right now because they can't not beat themselves on the offensive side of the ball. Go back to Kansas City. Baker throws an interception. There was a fumble. And then also, The punter just fumbles another snap. So 3 reasons you lost that game. Offensive side of the ball and then the punter's special teams, right? You fast forward to the Chargers game. And look, the defense did not play well at all in that Chargers game. Do not think this is me saying that the defense played well in LA. No, they played bad. But the offense had multiple moments to capitalize, and they shot themselves in the foot and kept themselves from winning the game. Every single week, whether they win or lose, we're talking about the offense. But for whatever reason, when we're talking about why this team isn't looking how we think it should, the offense never comes up. It's Joe Woods this, it's the defense that, it's certain players, whoever we want to make the scapegoat this week on the defensive side of the ball, when the truth is that the defense, they were only asked with how this team was built to be top 15. I feel like the defense has been top 15. Like, they haven't been great, but they've been good in some areas and not great in other areas. They're missing a lot of guys. They played this game without John Johnson. They played this game without JOK. They're missing guys on the defensive side of the ball. They're missing, Denzel Ward. Those are 3 of their top players right there. So it makes sense that, the defense will be struggling a little bit right now. But offensively, we got Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, Baker Mayfield, and Austin Hooper, and David Njoku, whoever else you want to add into that list of players. And we put up 10 points. 10 points. 10 points. That's what's holding this team back, is the offense. The offense was supposed to be one of the better parts of this, the best part of this team. And they ain't been the best part of this team. They ain't won you as many games as the defense has. Defense got you like 2 wins. They got you to win against Chicago, and they definitely got you to win against Minnesota. Offense has no performances like that this year. Absolutely zero. The offense has let this team down, and they're going to continue to let this team down until they figure it out. And how do they figure it out? I don't know, because it doesn't seem like it's a specific issue. It seems like it's a different thing every week. Some weeks it's penalties. Some weeks it's execution from the quarterback. Some weeks it's execution from the wide receivers. It's never the same thing. With the defense, I at least know that their issues are tangible, repeatable, and that makes them, to me, fixable, because you know what it is there that needs to be fixed, right? Joe Woods, deep ball, the deep safety responsibility, them busting deep coverages in quarters for whatever reason, right? It's a terrible thing to happen, but at least you know that that's the mistake that's happening. That's the thing that they need to fix. You can grab it. It's tangible. On the offensive side of the ball, I have no idea. Some people want to have Alex Van Pelt call plays. Here's the reason why I'm not too gung-ho about that idea. I don't think this is a situation like Freddie Kitchens and Todd Monken, where it's just 2 different offenses ran under the same roof, because one's the coach and the other one's the offensive coordinator. So they're disagreeing on stuff. So if you would have switched to one throughout the middle of the season, there would have been a radical difference in the play calling, right? I don't think that's the case with Alex Van Pelt and Kevin Stefanski. And I honestly think Alex Van Pelt is as much as a part of the problem on the offensive side of the ball as Kevin Stefanski is, if not more. And I don't really see why giving him more control over the offense is really going to fix anything. There's nothing to suggest that in his resume. There's also nothing to suggest that in what we've seen of him, right? That Pittsburgh game in the wild card, he did the same stuff that Kevin Stefanski does, good and bad, that drives us absolutely crazy, right? The playing to prevent offense once you have a lead, the over-reliance on screens, like he and Kevin Stefanski agree on all of this stuff. So I don't know if switching the play calling responsibility, if that really fixes a problem. It seems like it's something that's more superficial than it is actually helpful at this point, because again, I think these 2 dudes work together well and they agree with each other on a lot. So I don't think changing who's calling the play is going to fix anything. So I don't think that's the issue. I think they both need to realize that they're a part of the problem, though. Like, the offense is a problem right now. It should not be this bad. And this is what this team is built around, is this offense. And as long as this offense looks like that, that's going to be the problem that this team has to overcome. Now, we can look into the future and be optimistic and say, hey, next week, if you beat Cincinnati, this really ain't a big deal. or this loss really ain't that big of a deal. And I do think that's true, right? You beat Cincinnati next week, you can mitigate the damage, and you'll be all right. The AFC does not look like it's going to be super tough to make it in as that 7th seed if push comes to shove. So you still have hopes. But here's the thing, regardless of if this team can make the playoffs or not, here's the thing that I'm more worried about, to be honest with you. If the offense continues to look like this for the rest of the season, it does not matter to me if the Browns make the playoffs because they won't make any noise if they play like this. If they play more like they did last year, we got something. But if they continue to chunk it together, sloppy football, still not really satisfying on the offensive side of the ball, not going to get that much out of this team. So it don't matter if you could just scrap and get to the playoffs. The offense needs to figure it out and figure out why they look so much worse than they did last year. It has regressed, and it's regressed significantly. It should not be this hard for this offense to put up points, but here we are. Healthy Nick Chubb, 4 healthy linemen. You got your left tackle this week. That's not the excuse. Odell, Jarvis, all out there. Baker Mayfield's out there. You don't have Case Keenum. How in the world do you only put up 10 points? Honestly, how in the world did you only put up 10 points? How are we looking at that as if it's acceptable? I have no idea. But that's the biggest problem with this team. Until they figure out the offense, it really don't matter what else happens with this team. They got to figure that out. The offense has to figure it out. They need to start clicking. They need to start carrying their weight, and they need to start or stop letting their part of this bargain down, because the offense is letting the team down right now. And it's not just been this week. It's been 7 weeks in a row the offense has really let this team down. Maybe minus the LA game, but still, it's been 7 weeks in a row that this team and this offense has let you down. And that is the biggest problem this team has. Nothing else will look good. The defense could play lights out. If this, like they did against Minnesota, the defense could play lights out. You still ain't going to be able to win by that much if the offense looks like this. I mean, we've had a game where the Browns struggle to put up 14. Like, this should not be happening. Why is the offense so bad right now? And I think we need to look at Kevin Stefanski and Alex Van Pelt, because he is the offensive coordinator, mind you. Like, I don't know why Alex Van Pelt is skating on so much of this blame with the offense. He's the offensive coordinator, right? Kevin Stefanski ain't the only one working on the offense. This dude is the offense. He is responsible for this offense, but everybody want to give this dude a promotion as if he's not a part of the problem. So Alex Van Pelt, he's got to figure it out. He's got to take some of this blame because he's a part of this problem. Same with Kevin Stefanski. But that's my thoughts on this week's game. Look, at the end of the day, it sucks because Pittsburgh didn't even earn that one, man. You gave them that victory. Pittsburgh made no plays. You made all the plays. When they needed a fumble, you gave it to them. When they needed a stop or a pass breakup, you just dropped the ball instead of let them make a play. Pittsburgh didn't have to make a play. They just were there, so they won. But you beat yourself. That's what happened today. And honestly, that's what's happened 3 out of the 4 times the Browns have lost this year, is them beating themselves. And until they figure out how to not beat themselves, they're not going to beat better teams. So we'll see if that gets fixed. But it's week 8. We're running out of time to be patient and wait for things to get fixed. So that's it for this week's video. Again, guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Have a good night.